Okay, I'd like to call the October 20th, 2020 Vernon Hills Village Board meeting to order. Roll call, please.
President Byrne, Trustee Cook,
Here.
Trustee Schultz, Trustee Marquardt,
Here.
Trustee Takaoka, Trustee Oppenheim,
Here.
Trustee Forster. Here.
We have a quorum. We also need a motion to appoint a mayor pro tem.
I'd like to appoint Tom Cook as the, Trustee Cook as the President Pro Tem.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
President Byrne, Trustee Cook,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz, Trustee Marquardt,
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka, Trustee Oppenheim,
Aye.
Trustee Forster. Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations.
Okay, now that the meeting started, would everyone please stand for the pledge? Okay, are there any citizens wishing to address the board for something not on the agenda?
Please come on up.
I
I know
Yeah,
you can't see, that's
I
why I'm
can't
looking
see
at
so.
it.
There's one back here.
Okay, come on. Hi, if you could state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Vicki Herrick. My address is 801 Browning Court here in Vernon Hills. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak, and what I'd like to talk about is senior housing. I myself have lived in Vernon Hills for over 20 years, and I've really enjoyed the experience of living in this village. It's been wonderful. I have a daughter who went to the Hawthorne schools and also Vernon Hills High School. As you can see, I'm a baby boomer. I am a retired teacher, and I live in a townhouse in New Century Town. And there are a lot of people like me living in townhouses around the village or smaller single-family houses. What I'm finding is, and many of my friends as well, that my townhouse is too big for me as an empty nester. And I have friends that are finding the stairs of a townhouse are too difficult for them to maneuver because they're seniors too. What we're looking for is some comparable housing in Vernon Hills that would be similar to our townhouse, but not with the same physical dimensions. And I'm finding that there's hardly anything at all in this village. We don't want to move out of town to have to find affordable housing or go up to Wisconsin because everything is here, our friends, stores, favorite restaurants, activities. What we're looking for is not low-income housing. We have comfortable pensions, and we're looking for something that is affordable but not luxury. We are not at that stage where we need to live in Victory Center or the two Brookdale communities here that we have. But at the same time, we'd like to step up a little bit from Pebbleshire or Emerald Point or Villas by the Lake. What we're looking for is a community that's designated just for seniors. And when I was speaking with a real estate agent that I know, she was actually rather surprised that we didn't have any housing here that is just for seniors, besides the ones I just mentioned. We are hoping that you could persuade the developer who's redeveloping Hawthorne Center that they could change their plans for making luxury apartments and instead build apartments or maybe even condominiums for people over 55 years old. We feel that Vernon Hills already has enough luxury apartments as it is. We have the Milton, we have the Oaks, and also the Atwood. Many of the people who live in these apartments are working in nearby corporations, and they're working there just for a couple of years, which is why they are wanting an apartment, and they do not intend to make our community their home. They will be leaving again. We, as senior adults, feel that we've contributed to this community for most of our adult life, and we're looking for a place where we can continue in the next chapter of our life. So I hope you will honor us by developing housing that would be good for us. And I thank you for your time.
Well, we can give you, I think, a little information tonight, either Mike or Mark, on some projects that, I mean, we have,
Here, you
we
can stay
did,
here if you need to voice.
we did bring that up with the mall, did we not, when we first talked about it? We wanted a percentage of it maybe for,
Yes, it was discussed with the mall, and then ultimately what's evolved is a couple things. The mall is going with market rate apartments, but then Everly, a development on the former AMC property on Lakeview Parkway, is coming out of technical review, and they're actually scheduled for a public hearing tomorrow night right here. It's 188 units. You have to be 55 or older to live there. It's fully amenitized. It'll have, the pools. It'll have outdoor gardens, indoor parking, and then they'll have other activities that are geared towards people of our age. And again, you have to be 55 or older to be there. I invite you to come to the public hearing tomorrow. They were before the board for concept presentation. I think it was about 2 months ago now.
Yes.
The board had some comments, but was generally had favorable comments regarding it. Again, we're through technical review. Public hearing is tomorrow, so it's moving forward.
Can you come back up, come back up here?
What happens is that,
The people online, well, the people online want to be able to
Yeah.
hear you,
it's on.
your
it's
question.
on.
My question is, with that, that sounds very nice, but what is the cost per month for living in these places?
Yeah, well, that'll come out in tomorrow night's meeting. Looking at the plans, they're nice plans, so I would guess that they're going to range. I'd be guessing at a number, and I wouldn't want to do that. It's not. It'll be certainly more than $1,000 a month. Probably
Well,
more in
yes.
the neighborhood of about 1,500. But it's a little bit of guesswork. That's something we'll learn tomorrow night at the public hearing.
And Mike, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a mix of apartments and some townhomes as well?
Yeah, there's 174 apartments that are comprised of mostly 1 and 2 bedroom units. Then there's also 14 duplex cottages around the perimeter of the development. Pretty interesting
level.
development. First of its kind in Vernon Hills.
Yes. That's what I think is the most needed, is something that's affordable, that oftentimes people on limited incomes, and there's a lot of us. I think we need a lot more housing even than that. But a lot of people on fixed incomes, they don't have that money, and they don't want to pay for those things that others might enjoy.
So far, the problem has been getting somebody to build it. Believe me, it has been on our list of what we've asked for from developers for quite a few years now, correct?
Correct. And
Yeah, as developers come in looking to redevelop an area, affordable senior housing is something that's been on our radar for a number of years. It's just getting somebody to build it.
we definitely hear you. I myself, my children are a 37-year-old and a 35-year-old. And the thing is, having a house, I don't need that big of a house.
Right.
I'm in the same boat that you are. I wish for it. I know on this board that it's constant to the fact of senior living, where we've pushed it, we pushed it, but a developer has to come. And again, unfortunately, they're looking for the biggest bang for their buck. So it becomes complicated trying to figure what we could do.
But
Oh, we are there.
that's exactly what the situation is they're looking to make a profit, and I'm talking about our village and what we envision our village continuing to be, and it would no longer be a village of senior adults. For them to be able to make these places so expensive that they could make a large profit, people like me, we would not be able to afford it, and we'd have to move out.
I agree. I agree.
Well, your timing is perfect with that meeting tomorrow
Okay.
night if you want to come.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Did anybody?
Don't worry. No.
Yeah, any other citizens wishing to address the board? Because I can't see behind, okay. All right, then in that case, under the village president's report, we have a proclamation. I'll take the mask off to be easier to read it. A proclamation congratulating Emily Jones on earning the Girl Scout Gold Award. Emily is a life Girl Scout, and the Gold Award is the highest honor to be bestowed by the Girl Scouts and stands for the ultimate representation of citizenship and good character. Emily's Gold Award project was lead project organizer for the Let It Rain Garden at the Arbor Theater. Emily addressed excess stormwater and the declining pollinator population in North America. Emily assisted in designing and implementing a 300-square-foot rain garden at the Vernon Hills Arbor Theater. Emily educated the community with an exhibit at the Vernon Hills Public Works open house, interviews shown on Channel 4 and YouTube, created English and Spanish educational brochures, and educated numerous other Girl Scout troops. Emily was presented with the Gold Award on March 1st, 2020, with recognition of her personal dedication and extraordinary achievement. Now, therefore, I, Tom Cook, President Pro Tem, and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Vernon Hills hereby proclaim that Emily Jones is to be congratulated and honored for earning the Girl Scout Gold Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And since she's a former student, I can personally attest to the attributes, the attributes that are in here about having great character and being a great person. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your project? And then I'll give you this.
Okay. There was a problem and still is a problem in the Lake County area of excessive flooding. And I created a rain garden in the Arbor Theater. The address is 50 Fairway Drive. And the purpose of the rain garden was to show our community an example of what you can do when you have excessive amounts of water in unwanted areas. So this is an example of my rain garden. I'm not sure if you can see the picture, but if you would like to see it, you can. And yeah.
I don't know.
Is that one on? Or?
I don't know.
There was 2 phases to my project. Installation phase 1, which consisted of removing the grass and then putting a layer of topsoil on and adding the rock, the best part of the project, obviously. And then we put the plants in together with my volunteers. And yeah.
Good job.
Very good.
Do you guys have any questions or anything?
No, thank you so much for the work. Dave, did you want to comment on it?
No, I just want to thank you, and I know Josh Hansen worked hand in hand with you. You were fantastic in leading the charge. Josh enjoyed working with you. So rain gardens are things that people could use in their rear yard. This is a perfect example. She spent time at the Arbor Theater constructing one, showcasing it. And if people have a problem area that you can't grow grass, etc., this might be an application that they may want to consider. Thank you.
Good.
She was also a very big hit at our Public Works open house previously, too. So thank you for that help, too.
All right, well, let me give you this. Yeah, people always ask as a teacher and that, what do you think of the kids today? And this is a perfect example. There's a lot of awesome kids today. Things aren't as bad as you see on television news. There are an awful lot of good things going on out there. So thank you so much. Okay, village manager?
Thank you, sir. Just two quick announcements. Number one is that Mayor Byrne will be signing Declaration Number 20-14. Again, that's just a continuation of the state of emergency in the village of Vernon Hills, which will remain in effect till the next board meeting and presumably until the governor declares an end to the state of emergency in the state of Illinois. Number two is just a reminder, Halloween is a week from this Saturday, and we are going to be proceeding with trick or treat. The recommended hours are between 2 and 6 p.m. And again, we have a list of safety precautions that we would encourage people to follow on our website. Also, as you see up on the screen here, the village has produced 2 different flyers that people can print out off the website, or we have them available, obviously for free right up at the counter in our village hall here. If you're going to participate, we ask that you leave your lights on and put a yes flyer in your window. If you do not wish to participate, we encourage you to keep your lights off and display the red flyer in your window so that it's readily available, noticeable from people on the sidewalk. That's it, thank you. And there is more information on our website.
Okay, thank you.
Do you think they'll be able to see it in the windows? Everyone's got windows in different places.
Well, hopefully they'll put it on your storm door on the front of
Yeah.
the house or somewhere on your front door. And once, after you see that 2 or 3 times, you're going to recognize whether it's green or red. If it's green, it means go, obviously, and if it's red, no.
Okay.
That's the hope, anyway.
Okay. I was just kind of thinking, like tape it to the side of the mailbox or something as they're going along. It'd be easier for them to find, but
Could do that, too. You can
Just
print out, I
wasn't
mean, they
sure.
can print out as many copies as they
Yeah.
want, obviously.
Save them having to walk up the driveway.
well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Some windows and doors are easier to see because some are blocked by shrubbery and such. So, but whatever they think is best.
Any other comments regarding this? Okay. Then nobody else from staff has a speaking part? Okay. Then the omnibus vote agenda is next. Is there a motion to approve items A through J?
So made.
Second?
Motion is second. Any comments, questions, concern? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Schultz, Trustee Oppenheim,
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka, Trustee Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Forster. Aye. President Byrne, President Pro Tem Cook.
Aye. Motion carries. Do we have anything else? That's it? And no committee of the whole, correct? And no committee of the whole? Okay. Then in that case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Nancy?
Go ahead. Motion to adjourn.
I am motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion, a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.
Boy, that was a quick one.
One of the shorter meetings
That
in
wasn't,
history.
that wasn't a record, though. It was not a record.
No, no.